When you think of billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, chances are good that you think of his electric car company Tesla or his space exploration venture SpaceX. Maybe you just know him as the second richest person on Earth. Before long though, something else might come to mind when you think of Musk, a venture called Starlink that seeks to sell internet connections to almost anyone on the planet by way of growing a network of private satellites orbiting overhead. Starlink's progress seems to be accelerating in 2021. In January, after about 3 years worth of successful launches, the project surpassed 1,000 satellites delivered into orbit. Now, the service is in the process of expanding pre-orders to even more potential customers, with people currently living without access to high-speed internet as one of the top priorities. What is Starlink exactly? Technically, a division within SpaceX. Starlink is also the name of the spaceflight company's growing network, or constellation of orbital satellites. The development of the network began in 2015, with the first prototype satellites launched into orbit in 2018. In the years since, SpaceX has deployed over 1,000 Starlink satellites into orbit across more than 20 successful launches. In January, for its first Starlink mission of 2021, SpaceX launched 60 satellites into orbit from Kennedy Space Center using the landable, relaunchable Falcon 9 orbital rocket. Subsequent launches, including 4 more in February, have brought the total number of satellites launched up to nearly 1,300. And those satellites can connect my home to the internet? Just like existing providers of satellite internet like Isnt or Viasat, Starlink wants to sell internet access, particularly to people in rural areas and other parts of the world who don't already have access to high-speed broadband. Starlink is ideally suited for areas of the globe where connectivity has typically been a challenge. The Starlink website reads, "Embounded by traditional ground infrastructure, Starlink can deliver high-speed broadband internet to locations where access has been unreliable or completely unavailable. All you need to do to make the connection is set up a small satellite dish at your home to receive the signal and pass the bandwidth onto your router." Starlink offers an app on Android and iOS that uses augmented reality to help customers pick the best location and position for their receivers. Starlink service is only available in select regions at this point, but the service now boasts more than 10,000 customers, and the coverage map will continue to grow more as more satellites make their way into the constellation. Eventually, Starlink hopes to blanket the entire planet in a usable high-speed Wi-Fi signal. How fast is Starlink's internet service? Users can expect to see data speeds vary from 50 to 150 megabits per second and a latency from 20 to 40 milliseconds in most locations over the next several months, Starlink's website says, while also warning of brief periods of no connectivity at all. As we launch more satellites, install more ground stations and improve our networking software, data speed, latency, and uptime will improve dramatically. To that end, Musk tweeted in February that he expects the service to double its top speeds to 300 Mbps by the end of 2021. What does Starlink cost? Starlink has begun accepting pre-orders from customers interested in joining the company's Better Than Nothing beta program. The cost of the service is billed at $99 per month, plus taxes and fees, plus an initial payment of $499 for the mountable satellite dish and router that you'll need to install at home. Starlink says that it's taking orders from customers on a first-come, first-served basis, and that some pre-orders could take as long as 6 months to fulfill. Where is Starlink available? For now, the service is limited to the northwest of US, adjacent parts of Canada, parts of the UK, and select other areas, but the coverage map will grow considerably as more satellites will join the constellation. There's still a ways to go. Starlink will likely need at least 10,000 satellites in orbit before it can claim to cover a majority of the globe, and SpaceX has shown signs that it wants as many as 30,000 satellites in the constellation. Right now, it's only about 10% of the way there at the best, with coverage focused on regions sitting between 45 and 53 degrees north latitude. Musk has told customers that he expects the service to hit worldwide availability in 2022, but that will be contingent on a steady streak of successful launches. Why satellites anyway? Isn't fiber faster? Fiber or internet delivered via ground-laid fiber optic cable offers upload and download speeds that are indeed much faster than satellite internet. Fiber, or internet delivered via ground-laid fiber optic cable, offers upload and download speeds that are indeed much faster than satellite internet. But as companies like Google will tell you, there's nothing fast about deploying the infrastructure necessary to get fibers to people's homes. That's not to say there's anything simple about shooting satellites into space, but with fewer sharp elbow competitors and with a lot less red tape to cut through, there's every reason to believe that services like Starlink will reach the bulk of underserved communities long before fiber will. Recent FCC filings also suggest that Starlink could ultimately double as a dedicated phone service too. Still, with top speeds currently pegged at 150 Mbps, Starlink satellite internet won't be anywhere near the gigabit fiber speeds people on Earth are used to anytime soon. And that's due to the sheer distance each transmission needs to travel in its round trip from your home to the stratosphere. It's a factor that also jacks up latency, which is why you'll often notice awkward lulls in a conversation if you're talking to someone over a satellite connection. What about bad weather and other obstructions? That's definitely one of the downsides of satellite internet. Per Starlink's FAQ, the receiver is capable of melting snow that lands on it, but it can do anything about surrounding snow buildup and other obstructions that might block its line of sight to the satellite. We recommend installing Starlink in a location that avoids snow buildup and other obstructions from blocking the field of view. The FAQ reads, heavy rain or wind can also affect your satellite internet connection, potentially leading to slower speeds or a rare outage. Are there any other issues with Starlink satellites? There's plenty of concern about the proliferation of privately owned satellites in space and the controversy in astronomical circles about the impact low-orbiting satellites have on the night sky itself. In 2019, shortly after the deployment of Starlink's first broadband satellites, the International Astronomical Union released an alarm-sounding statement warning of unforeseen consequences for stargazing and for the protection of nocturnal wildlife. We do not yet understand the impact of thousands of these visible satellites scattered across the night sky, and despite their good intentions, these satellite constellations may threaten both, this statement reads. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more videos like these. Also, like the video and comment down below if you would like to experiment with Starlink.